Hey, how you doing? This is Tyc Snow, the CEO of Tyc's Basketball Academy. We have a special treatment for y'all. I'm here at the RXR3 Rest, Restore, Rejuvenate. This is Tim Hip, the owner and CEO of the building. Pretty much we're going to discuss many things. A lot of players and athletes, they don't understand the intellect and the understanding of the importance of rest and recovery. LeBron James is the greatest athlete in the world. He's 36 years old, and it was told that he spent over $2 million a year just to keep his body in shape from injuries so he can make a push for an NBA Finals every single year. We are here in the DMV out here in Haymarket, Virginia, and we have the best facility for rest, rejuvenate, and recovery. We are going to give demos of what this store offers, and we're going to go from there. Tim Hip, thank you for having us to be here.
Man. It's a pleasure.
Let's go inside. Thank you. And he's just going to pretty much give a detailed description of what all he offers here. Tim, I'm going to let you take over, and then we go from there.
Fantastic. Thank you. What we like to do is kind of meet clients where they're at, whether it be an athlete or a 72-year-old person trying to get better at walking. We're definitely going to focus on athletes today, but I like to think that everybody's playing the game of life. So what we're going to do is kind of start with some compression, kind of get the legs going. A lot of times people come here after a workout, so they have a buildup of lactic acid. We want to flush that out, and then we're going to work on some oxygen and some other recovery modalities. Sweet. Take our shoes off. Normatec has kind of really been, kind of the trendsetter and kind of the frontier of compression. Actually, compression started in a hospital post-surgery. We wanted to really get the fluids and the blood moving so that we don't have any blood clots. Compression can be done pre-workout, during workout, and after. Tyc had mentioned LeBron James. He does these an hour before a game. He does them during halftime, and he does them after the game. One of the biggest things, blood flow is key. Obviously, we carry everything that the body needs in the blood system, and if you think about the vascular system as a highway with no traffic jams is a great moving highway. If you're in the DMV, you understand traffic jams. So what we want to have here is when Tyc's in here doing some active recovery, which we're going to see in a little bit, or if he's in the gym working out or on the court, we really want his muscles contracting well. We want them fueled well. If he has any type of inflammation, any type of lymphatic block, that's gonna kind of keep him from playing at peak performance.
What exactly is going on with my legs?
Great question, great question. So their patent system starts to compress from the feet, and as you can imagine, even if you get a massage, they're going to start from one extremity and move those fluids up, and then it's going to release, and then it's going to contract again. Within a 30-minute session, you get probably about 15 to 20 renditions of contracting, releasing, contracting, releasing. Now, Tyc, we've got your legs warmed up. We're gonna work on inflammation. Is pretty much it's a killer of all performance. Obviously, people think about the immune system. As obviously everybody's familiar with COVID. What happens with COVID in that earlier part? There's a cytokine storm, and as your cytokines increase, that's going to increase inflammation in your body. If it goes too much, you start to have inflammation in the lungs, and that's That's really what happens with COVID. So we're going to do some oxygen therapy over here. Oxygen, as it enters the body, is going to eliminate that cytokine storm, eliminate inflammation in the body. And so we think about our muscles, but what fuels the muscle is our cardiovascular system, our pulmonary system. We've got to pump that blood. That blood without oxygen is no good, right? We want to have that oxygen. So what we like to do is we're going to take Tyc to altitude, which is 14% oxygen. Right now we're breathing around 21%. And we're going to desaturate the body, get the body hungry for oxygen, and then we're going to perfuse the body with 85%, which is 4 times what you're breathing now.
It gets you more familiar with playing in different altitudes across the globe.
For sure.
Okay, so you want to warm me up first?
Yep, absolutely. Vibration plate's probably one of the simplest things that we have, but definitely one of the most effective. We set up just generally, we're going to have a frequency at 40. So that means the plate is vibrating at 40 times a second. And if you think about it at the cellular level, it's just like a muscle contraction. So, I mean, I can get Tyc at a good sweat on here for about 10 minutes. We're just going to do it for about 2 minutes. So we're going to slightly bend the knees, and then we're going to get this vibration through the body. And if you think about what a muscle contraction is, as these filaments slide over one another during these contractions, they're creating a vibration. And so we're mimicking that on a vibration plate.
When we on this machine, you 5-10 minutes, my body starts to itch.
Yes, for sure.
Can you explain what's happening when my body starts to, like, my feet start itching and my legs is itching? Like, what is that? The first time it scared me. I didn't know what was going on.
And that does happen to some people. Not everybody does happen to some people. When we get this increase in circulation, so there again, when we talk about an increase of histamine response to an increase of circulation, and that's what your body's has. As I said before, we use a pulse oximeter. What we like to do is just, sometimes I'll just show an individual kind of what their pulse ox is when we start. He's 96, very good heart rate, 60.
That's good.
Amazing athlete, yep. And that's good. You think about a resting heart rate doesn't need to go up if you're not working, right? We create a demand, that's what we're going to do, and we'll go up that.
This is one of the favorite things I do when I come here.
You like to work, man, that's good. So we put this mask here, just take a deep breath in and blow out. Breathe in. We make sure those flaps are working. Sometimes, obviously, I think everybody now is used to wearing masks. It used to not be used to that. We'll go ahead and start pedaling here a little bit. And with Tyc, he's done this many times. We start him right at altitude. What that does, that helps us, kind of speed up the warm up a little bit. So we're a good solid 98. We were at 96 before. 3, 2, 1, relax. Now, I'm not going to brag on Tyc, but I'm just going to tell you, he's pushing at about 1 minute 30 seconds per 500. That's at an elite level. Now, obviously, this session usually lasts anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes, depending on what the goals are. But you can see it's a demand. It's demand just to do exercise. A lot of guys will come here and it's not demanding, but how we make it a little bit more demanding, we take it to altitude. I
see people all ages. I see elderly people who be on the bike because they get that nice. There's multiple things you can do.
Oh, for sure.
Some people just come just to pump that oxygen in their blood.
Absolutely.
So, thank you, Tim. Not so thank you. So now,
all right, let's do some PMF.
What are we doing? PMF?
Yeah, absolutely. Our body is more electrical than it is chemical, and we look at we've got a lot of oxygen in the body. So what can we do with that? One thing we can do that is increase the cellular energy. Energy is key for your cells to work. I mean, everybody has had, you know, sadly someone that has been impacted by cancer in their family, and so when they measure the intracellular charge of a cancerous cell, it's positive 35. When a young child's growing intracellularly, it's going to be negative 35 millivolts. So the higher negatively charged ionically, so it's an ionic charge intracellularly, the higher negative is, the better. You break your bone, which is this is FDA approved for bone growth. That cells, when they're trying to heal, negative 50, right? So anything less than negative 21 to 0, obviously I said positive 30 was cancer, is sick. So this is, I mean, you think about immune system, you think about healing. How many people think about when you have a, you know, you have a cut, you don't really think about how it heals. And so you'll start to see Tyc here a little bit. You're going to start to see some muscle contractions. What that is that's the electromagnetic field going through his body, and his nerves are responding to that. But think about this, 60 minutes on this bed increases blood flow 130%. I've had kids come in here, a little bit of knee strain, spend some time, you know, maybe anywhere between 6 to 25 hours, obviously not at one time, but spread over a period of time. I mean, we're getting people back on the court.
Oh wow, that's amazing, because I mean, injuries can prevent scholarships. It put a hold on contracts.
Absolutely.
You can get released, you can get cut.
Tyc's favorite, getting cold, baby.
Oh man.
And I tell you, look, I don't know anybody that wakes up and says, hey, I want to get cold. But I guarantee you this, people wake up and say, I want to be better.
Exactly.
And cryotherapy definitely makes us better. So here's our cryotherapy room. You know, I could probably say it in every single room, this is my favorite. But this is, I think, when we think about longevity of life, longevity of playing the game, decrease in inflammation is probably a #1 key, but also adaptation. Our ability to be able to adapt to the things that happen in life are pretty key for us, you know, living longer. So if we're constantly stressed, if we're constantly reacting and not responding to a situation, it's proven. It's just short lifespan, high blood pressure, hypertension. Well, we're going to put Tyc, he's going to use our socks. We provide everything for you, our socks, gloves, and shoes. What we blow out, we have liquid nitrogen. That liquid nitrogen is heated up, and then we have the liquid nitrogen gas that comes out. It'll start pushing out in a minute, I'll show it to you. We monitor everything from our control pad here. I'm able to monitor the cabin temperature, how long he's been in there. I can pause at any time I want. And a lot of times the athletes like to know the temperature. They get a little competitive and hey, coach, how cold did I get? And it is a little bit about that. Our goal is here to decrease body temperature, and you can see a little bit of the liquid nitrogen gas coming out. So what this is set up in a vortex.
How long am I going to be in there?
We're gonna do this for 3 minutes.
Ooh.
So we'll go ahead and get a temperature check here. So right there, around 69. Up here at the top, we're at 73. Core's going to stay a little harder.
Explain us the process of how cryo can help your energy level.
I mean, we're built to survive. If Tyc and I are out in the Antarctic, we're going to be super focused because we need to survive, right? So when your body gets cold, the brain, it's an increase of norepinephrine, epinephrine, which is adrenaline, 300 to 500%. Oh, wow. For obvious reasons. I mean, your brain doesn't know that you're in a tank, and it doesn't know that you're going to get out in 3 minutes, but it does know that I just had a 30-degree temperature drop. Yeah. Let's stay alive. Obviously, but one part of staying alive is being hyper-focused. So. So we have an anti-aging panel here. Tyc keeps his youth, but we have 118,000 LED bulbs pushing out 4 different wavelengths of red light. So we'll have Tyc lay on here. We start on our back first. So what I want to have Tyc will move all the way down, slide all the way down.
This way?
Yeah, keep coming down. Because Tyc doesn't have any hair, but one of the biggest things is actually this red light can help with hair growth. It's been shown to do that. He'll have his glasses on. We'll put this right over his face. So elbows, always an issue. Shoulders, low back, knees, ankles. This is FDA cleared for fibromyalgia, so which is just a nerve muscle pain. But I've had guys that just could, the extension of their elbow was not that great. They get on here for 15 to 20 minutes and their elbows relax. Body's really relaxed. It's a 40-minute session. We'll do 20 minutes face up. There'll be a sound here. Lights will go off. He'll flip over and do 20 more minutes. So after 40 minutes, we usually come off here. The body's opened up, and then we're going to detox some more in the infrared sauna. So. You ready to go to that?
Yes, sir. This is my me time. I come in here. I normally watch one episode. I don't know if you can come in and see the screen, but everything is password protected. I use my own Netflix account. I just put in my email, I put in the password, and then I go and I watch Netflix. So it's the most comfortable environment. I've never been in any sauna where you have your own personal iPad, so it's just very comfortable.
Obviously, you're floating on water. You've got 12 inches of Epsom salt. The water. One of the first questions I think everybody probably they don't ask, but they're certainly thinking it. How clean is the water? We filter the water through 3 different 2 media and 1 UV. Every 15 minutes. The water is cycled through 5 times. How do we get the water this dense and allow his body to float? It's 2,000 pounds of Epsom salt. Obviously the reason they call it the Dead Sea, because nothing can grow in it, this is denser than the Dead Sea. But one other step that we take is we treat the water with H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, and we're at a medical grade is 75 parts per million. We're at 100 parts per million. Doesn't burn the skin. And the other key thing, that water, people look at that water, they don't know that it's the same temperature as his skin.
Like I just want to wipe off all that
Sweat and oils, get those things off. We're going to use shampoo and body wash. Get him nice and clean.
But basically, what we don't want to do is the conditioner, right? We don't want to use conditioner, right?
Not conditioner, not until after. That's right. So, what we do is go ahead and open up the door. We're going to step in here. We have bars in here. He's going to step in here. So notice he's completely floating in here. We'll shut this door. But one of the key things, and he can't even hear what we're saying, but one of the key things that happens here is your body, your brain is kinesthetically aware where your feet is, your hands are. But when you're floating, it does stop, kind of loses that. But the other thing too is that water is the same temperature as his skin. We talked earlier about thermoreceptors. Well, when the brain no longer has to thermoregulate the body, the brain calms down. This room is built inside of a room, so it's completely soundproof. We shut that door. He can't hear anything. We shut the lights off. He can't see anything. And what happens to the brain? The brain stops to calm down. Within 15 minutes of this, his diastolic blood pressure is going to drop around 15 points. At that point, your brain gets into that theta state. That theta state is a state that you get into just before you go to sleep. Literally makes you pain-free. If he has an itch, a pain, or a scratch, it completely just goes away. That's how you're able to go to sleep. And that's what we said earlier. Once you get used to floating, it just gets so much easier to go to sleep. So after that, he'll take another shower. Otherwise, he'll look pretty salty.
Yep. As you can see, this is the best recovery in the whole DMV. I'm here with Tim Hip, the CEO, RXR3, Rest, Recover, Rejuvenate. If you have any questions, we're going to leave all the information, the address, the local time, phone numbers, emails. If you have any questions, please reach out to Tim and his staff. We are out here in Haymarket, Virginia. Tim, any last things you would like to say?
Just welcome. I mean, just come in, ask us questions. We're here to help. We're open to any athlete, any age person to come in. We have something here to definitely help.